right, Al, let's go to the numbers for this, the championship bout at 140 pounds.
And you know, the edge that Ergashev has in the height and the reach, it's not wildly dramatic, but it's enough to help him in this fight because he wants to be at range where he can, even though he's an attacker, he wants to be at range so he can land that straight left hand, which he will throw over and over and over again.
With the official introductions, the always classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, from the Michelob Ultra Arena here at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, Premier Boxing Champions presents our next world title attraction, brought to you by TGB Promotions and Samson Boxing in association with Fresh Productions. Sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. This bout is sanctioned by the IBF President Daryl Peoples, Supervisor Aaron Kaiser. Our three judges scoring from ringside: from Oklahoma, David Sutherland; from Connecticut, Don Trella; and from New Jersey, Steve Weisfeld. Introducing our referee in charge of the action, introducing Celestino Ruiz. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the IBF Junior Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first the challenger, fighting out of the red corner, wearing silver and black trunks. He is fighting out of Miami, Florida, by way of Fergana, Uzbekistan. He weighed in at 139 3/4 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 23 wins, no losses, 20 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the hard-hitting southpaw contender tonight, making his first attempt at a world title. Introducing the IBF #3 ranked contender in the world, known as the descendant of Tamerlane. Introducing Shohjahon Ergashev. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing yellow and blue trunks, hailing from and representing his home of Fajardo, Puerto Rico. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 139 3/4 pounds, with an outstanding record of 19 wins, 1 loss, with all 19 wins coming by way of knockout tonight, making the first defense of his title. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the hard-hitting, defending IBF Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, known as El Orgullo de Maternillo, introducing Subriel Matías. Once again, a referee in charge. Now to give instructions, Celestino Ruiz.
Subriel, okay, anything below there is low, low. I gave you guys your instruction in the dressing room. I expect a clean, fair fight, start to finish. Tenerlo en torsión en el camerino, que es una pelea limpia, y protéjase siempre. Good luck.
Referee Celestino Ruiz, with 16 years of pro experience, working his 376th professional fight. Matias won the vacant title by 5th round TKO against Jeremias Ponce last February. Ergashev, he's trained by Sugar Hill Stewart, the nephew of the late Emmanuel Stewart, who was the quintessential trainer of power punchers in Hague. Ergashev, he's a pure power puncher. Round number 1.
Matias, a volume puncher. He throws 85 punches per round. In his last fight against Ponce, he was met with a firestorm in round 1. How he got past it, I have no idea. He was held to 38 punches in that round, but then came back. And Ergashev whipping those left hands.
Ergashev has 12 first-round knockouts, and after watching Ponce do what he did, we wondered, should Ergashev start the same way?
That's right.
You have to start fast if you're Ergashev, right? And he's doing it. I mean, the power is right there. He's fine. It hit the gloves, and it got Matias. He hurt him. Again, there's a power puncher that we're watching right now, and we'll see how this first round starts.
Ergashev's like a three-point shooter who, you know, some of them may not fall, but they're going to keep shooting. He's going to keep throwing that left hand, miss it, not get it in, get it in. He'll keep throwing that thing all as long as his fight lasts.
Matias has been down once. That was against Petros Ananyan with a left hook. In their first meeting, of course, he avenged that loss, but here in round one, tasting the power of Ergashev, and there's that left hand, that laser-like left for Ergashev that something tells me may be in the keys to victory of one Hall of Fame analyst, Al Bernstein.
It's possible. And you know, the reason we referenced that Ponce fight is because we thought during that round, there's no way Subriel Matías is ever going to get past this round. And of course he did. So we'll see how all this plays out.
Yeah, you got to take that jab away from Ergashev, especially the left. You're going to see the left a lot from him, and especially straight, but Matias might not see it because it's so fast.
Ergashev's first attempt at a title, first appearance in Las Vegas, and first fight scheduled for 12 rounds. He is fighting for the first time in 15 months. In August of last year, he won by 5th round TKO against Angel Martinez Hernandez. Comes in ranked 9th at 140 pounds by the ring and acquitting himself well here in round one.
Matias has just not gotten going at all offensively. This is just what we saw against Ponce. This is like a replay, except Ponce was even more dramatic. But these are big punches that Ergashev is landing.
Really big punches, and not
Matias
just the
squared
straight
up in front of him.
Yes,
Abner.
he's right in front of him, making it a lot easier for Ergashev. And I mean, the straight left that he has into the body, I mean, he still hasn't landed that body shot, but that's venom definitely for a guy that's walking straight forward.
Wow, beautiful combination, straight left, right hook by Ergashev.
But don't be deceived. Things could change radically when we tape Double Jeopardy in round 2.
But what a start here for Ergashev. 13 of 55 compared to 3 of 9 for the defending champ in the first 3 minutes.
Well, the left hand, we talked about it from Ergashev. It's just, he's going to throw it. That one to the body, pushed Subriel Matías back, knocked him off balance, and there were plenty that landed to the head. Let's take a look at the keys to victory for Subriel Matías. Keep the right hand up, boy, because those lefts are going to keep coming. He didn't do this in round 1. The way to avoid being hit with those are fighting off his chest, get close to Ergashev. For him, combinations and left hooks, those are the things that will win him this fight, and he's good at both those things. As for Ergashev, land the left early. Yes, he did that. Body shots, which Abner has alluded to, and did I mention the left hand? Yes, he should keep throwing it.
Bell and round number 2. Immediately Ergashev looks to establish the jab, keep the defending champion at bay.
Yeah, and that's something he does so good.
4-punch combination, rattling the noggin of Matias. Ergashev coming out in fuego.
Look at the range that Ergashev is maintaining. Pushing with that jab, taking that half step back, maintaining that range, that distance. I mean, that's everything for him.
That's the
Framing
key.
and taming the defending champion. Shohjahon Ergashev really going to work, putting together these nasty combinations, led by that straight left Al, followed up by the right hook, and he continues
And you know,
to play Matias like a drum.
Right, and one of the headlines here is the right hook of Ergashev. It's not always his best punch. He's throwing it very effectively as well. Now, Matias wants to get that left hook in. He's got to put himself, from his standpoint, he wants to put himself in position to throw it.
Yeah, he can't be too straight. His frame is like straight forward, so making it a lot easier for Ergashev to land that straight left. He's got to jab his way in, and when he's inside, start working the uppercuts. Smother the punches from Ergashev.
Matias had 100 amateur fights. Ergashev, he had over 200, and in the final 3 years of his amateur status, he won all his fights by KO.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But here he's right at that perfect range, mid-range for Ergashev. After you mentioned it before, perfect distance to land these combinations. Matias yet to get on track.
Yeah, he's got to be careful too, Matias, because the uppercut's there for Ergashev. He still hasn't landed. He's looking for it. A few times it seemed like he was going to throw it. But again, Matias is right there. He can land his own shots as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got himself in the right position right now. He's just not quite getting his punches off. Also, longest layoff for Ergashev of his career. Does he look not sharp? No, he's looking pretty good. There's the uppercut from Matias and the hook. That's the punch he's going to start throwing more of now.
Body shot by Ergashev, combination upstairs by Matias. Under a minute left in the second. Matias unloading, Ergashev moving to his right, leaning in on Matias, cuffs him with a right hook. And there's a chopping left hand by Matias.
And he usually does that. He turns really well to his right, Ergashev, after he's done with the combination, but he's feeling comfortable inside so far.
There's that left hook by Matias. Matias still again squared up, peekaboo, but right in front of Ergashev.
But he's
there's an uppercut. And the left hook, Matias now coming on. Ergashev responding well.
This is going to be a great fight. We said it, and it's starting to heat up in a big way.
Stop at the bell.
None other than Iron Mike Tyson in attendance. So many memorable moments here in Las Vegas. So many of those memories right here on Showtime pay-per-view.
Yeah, at this location. And Ergashev continued, that was the uppercut that Abner talked about, throwing good, really good combinations, and as we said, mixing in, even though some of those were blocked. And then we talked about the fact that, you know, he's a left-handed puncher, but the right hook for him has been a good weapon. In that round, though, Matias really turned things around. He started ripping these combinations, the uppercut, the left hook, and ultimately ended up landing a few more punches than Ergashev in that round. So this thing's getting to be what we imagined it would be.
This is round 3. There's that straight left by Ergashev. And the straight left-right hook combination that has been money for the challenger throughout the fight.
Something that Ergashev is getting away with is that jab. He's pushing with the jab a little bit. You're not supposed to do that. You can't do that.
Effective jab from Matias, and Matias with some good body work.
He's meshing with the jab. I mean, it's working for him, but again, you know, I don't think it's legal. There it is. He's pushing with that jab.
Don't leave it out there.
And now everything, power punches are everything other than a jab. And you see, Matias actually end up with an edge in overall power punches. Both men landing big shots.
Matias starting to walk down Ergashev, chopping left hands. Ergashev leaning in, trying to get underneath, now clinching with the champion.
It's going to get to a point where Ergashev might get a little frustrated too. Like, you know, I'm hitting this guy with all these shots. He's not going down and he's still coming forward. And that's Matias. That's what he does.
The other question is, Ergashev is deciding to fight closer to Matias.
Yeah, he's clinching.
And doing a lot of clinching. But does he really want to be in that range against him? I don't know.
Just avoiding that right uppercut. But he's leaning in, not throwing a lot of punches. Is Ergashev and Matias working the body.
He's known to turn with that left. He lands that left, he turns to his right, and you know, he maintains the distance again. But again, he's staying inside a little bit too long. Oh, there it is. You want to keep turning Matias.
Matias lands the left hook.
Matias hasn't set down on the left hook as much as he normally does, and give Ergashev credit for that.
Matias has to be careful squaring up right in front of Ergashev is when he gets hit with that left hand that splits the guard, followed by the right hook curling around the guard. Sharp jab from Matias, backing up Ergashev to the ropes.
Matias has faced the lefty in 2 of his last 4 fights, so he's used to this, and there's that uppercut.
Uppercuts by Matias.
Yeah, he's got a free hand and he's working.
If you face Matias, you're going to see uppercuts and left hooks all the time.
And there on cue, an uppercut hook combo. Left hook, now Ergashev firing back, sitting down on his punches. Less than half a minute left in the third.
And the thing about Matias, it seems like those punches have nothing behind them, but he hits so hard, he doesn't have to load up.
Right up,
so right.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Hey, no, hold.
Oh.
Lead left lands for Ergashev, digs downstairs, so does Matias.
Oh,
Terrific stuff through 3 rounds. All right, let us check.
Go here. Look. Watch this. When you go here, punch it now. No wait. Let's go. No wait. Bang, bang. Let's go. You boxing good. Let's go. Come.
The champion Matias trained by Jacob Nahar. Ergashev trained by Sugar Hill Stewart.
Third fight
This is
for,
fourth.
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Al.
Third fight for Matias with Nahar, and they've been. He likes the combination. You know, he wasn't really ready for his first fight with Ananyan when he lost. Physically ready, emotionally ready. Since then, he's been unstoppable.
Yeah, another thing that Ergashev has not seen or hasn't fought anything like it is Matias, someone that pressures, someone that's able to withstand his power and be right in front of him. And I think that is why Ergashev is having trouble turning, and he has to decide to stay in the inside.
Look at all the power punches Ergashev landed. Those 12 first-round knockouts came from those kind of punches.
Yes.
But as Estrella pointed out, that great quote that you gave, is that enough to stop Subriel Matías? You know, it's hard.
And Matias again looking to take advantage of the career-long layoff, the fact that he's faced superior quality of opponents, but Ergashev still having his moments as Matias batters him with a couple of left hooks upstairs and goes back to the well. And there's a combination that jacked the jaw of Ergashev, popped his head back.
Subriel Matías and David Benavidez in our main event have something very much in common. You might discourage them for a little while. You might even land some punches, but to keep them discouraged the whole fight doesn't happen.
It didn't happen for him a lot. It took him just 1 round to figure it out. And again, I mean, those punches, I mean, volume, but just a lot on Ergashev. And Ergashev, you know, being distracted by him and not hurt by him as well. One thing I would do want to see from Matias is the body work. He has it. He's headhunting a lot. But again, why wouldn't you if you hit that hard?
And Ergashev now not being able to maintain the distance that allowed him to land those straight left hands.
Yeah, for Matias, he goes to the body about 25% of the time, which is below the average. But here he's starting to light up for Ergashev. Ergashev trying to valiantly fight back. And Matias teeing off on Ergashev in the corner. Ergashev has never been down. And now able to stop the attack momentarily.
Wow, talk about overwhelming a technical fighter. Where's the range? Where's the footwork from Ergashev? It's not there. It's the pressure from Matias.
He's taken so much punishment in the last 2 rounds, Ergashev has.
Ergashev undefeated, 23-0 with 20 knockouts in his first title shot. And he's beginning to feel the pressure, the power, the offense of the defending champion, Subriel Matías. Matías putting together a tremendous 4th round. He has just thrown his 100th punch of the round.
Okay.
35 of 104 for the defending champion in what was a fantastic 4th for Matías.
You don't have to fight southpaw. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Nothing with the southpaw. Just keep the way you're doing it. Remember. You need to lean on him. When he leans on you, then you just hit the body. Hit the body. This is the key. This is the key to win the fight.
Great work by trainer Nahar. Don't switch lefty because it's not broke. Don't try and fix it. And we look back at what an effective round Matias had. Ergashev in the corner, still landing shots, good shots. Those are the kind of shots that were hurting every fighter he's faced. But Matias walks through them, and he is such a good combination puncher. There's like 6 punches in that combination, and you know, all good ones.
As we begin round 5, Abner, what Matias has begun to do more is close the distance and not allow Ergashev to maintain the proper distance that we saw early in the fight.
Yeah, has he ever? I mean, he's walking Ergashev back with that pressure, and it's just not the pressure, it's the volume punching, constant throwing punches from Matias. I mean, such a throwback fighter here in Matias.
Matias told us, I don't subscribe to the conventional thinking that it's only a right hand that's going to help me against the lefty, which I totally agree with. He said the left hook, and there it is right there. And he is making that work and mixing in the jab, mixing in all kinds of punches here. Ergashev now, his mission in this fight is to try and do something of power that can keep Matias off him.
And yet he's corralled in the corner again, trying to dodge some of these punches. Gets hit with a couple of left hands, including an uppercut. Now forced to hold on.
Smart man, smart man. He had to at that moment. That uppercut landed really clean, and it seemed like it hurt him as well.
Couple more land clean.
Subriel Matías is an offensive machine.
He's a juggernaut.
He really is astonishing.
But it's not just holding for Ergashev. You got to turn. You got to turn. You got to take that half step back, get back to your range, get back to your volume, your straight punches, and keep turning him. Don't go on the back of the ropes.
And the big problem is he lands those nice left hands. They don't do anything to Matias.
Again, easier said than done, right?
Yeah,
I mean
it's
you got
amazing.
a guy like Matias, not as easy.
How about this? Matias is landing 38% of his jabs against a lefty. That's a remarkable number.
Just over a minute left here in the 5th, and Matias using the jab now, trying to dodge the punches from Ergashev. Ergashev finding himself laboring on the ropes, then has to avoid bending over. It's going to be opening himself up to those devastating uppercuts if he keeps that up.
He's just not used to this type of pressure. No. He seems tired already, Ergashev.
Oh, and who is, right? I mean,
right.
And there's the body shots to sap even more of the stamina and the will out of Ergashev.
He's just not used to fighting at this pace. He's used to controlling the fight, the tempo of the fight.
And let's go back to round number 1 and parts of round number 2. Remember when Ergashev was bombing away against Matias, and we said, you know what? Just wait.
Sharp jab from Matias. May have been the adrenaline for Ergashev in the first couple of rounds, first title shot, because again, being off for a career-long 15 months and facing by far his toughest opponent to date as we reach round 6.
Huh? No good. This is no good. The leg no good. No. Hey, Eugene. Where's Eugene?
No work.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
No work.
Okay.
Listen. He's okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
I want to hear some stuff.
Go ahead. Okay. Ask him.
He said his leg. He said his leg.
Yeah.
Is there like
Oh, yeah. His leg. His leg. Okay.
be in next round. Next round. Let's go.
No more. That's it.
Subriel Matías is successful in his first title defense as the challenger. Ergashev complains about issues with his right leg and is forced to retire in between rounds. Subriel Matías remains a champion at 140 pounds. And by the way, he's now 20-1. All 20 wins come via stoppage.
What a way to win. I mean, not just the knockout, it was the stoppage. He just brutally just punished him. I still don't know what Ergashev was complaining about.
Yeah, maybe some leg injury that was a corollary to all that was happening.
And by the way, Al, just a quick stat here. This is his 5th consecutive corner retirement victory, surpassing the legendary Vasily Lomachenko. Matias literally breaks you down, saps you of your will. Let's listen in here, but my goodness, Matias.
Well, here are the numbers, which, you know, he started not fast in round one, and then was able to pick up the pace and landing 33% of his power punches, which for him, in terms of percentage, is almost pedestrian, but they were so dramatic and happy as he should be. This was a quintessential Subriel Matías performance. Trouble in the first round and a half, and then once he gets the pace going, and once whoever's in front of him realizes, I can't put this guy away, then Matías comes on. And give Ergashev credit. Number one, he fought a perfect 1.5 rounds that would have probably beaten a lot of other people, just like Ponce. And then secondly, he showed a lot of toughness, even though he had to give in. And let's go inside the ropes and look at this fight in microcosm. Though it didn't go a long way, it was interesting and exciting while it lasted. Early on, Ergashev came out. There's the left hand that pushed Matías back. He landed so many of those left hands and mixed in the hooks. This was Ergashev fighting as good as you can fight against a fighter like Matías. Throwing combinations, landing good straight range. But once the range changed, Abner, we saw this from Matías.
Yeah, definitely. Again, once Matías found his rhythm, he felt his punches. He said, okay, I can take them. I can walk in, and he started doing so with those combinations, that left hand. And that's when he switched out to southpaw. And his coach told him, don't go to southpaw. It's not working for you. Like you said, if it's not broken, you know, you don't have to fix it. So he kept going, and I mean, the barrage of punches, the different type of punches, overhand right, overhand left, body shots, uppercuts, everything from Subriel Matías, just punishing Ergashev. And we saw the ending. He just didn't come out.
Let's make it official. Here is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 seconds of round number 6. A referee in charge, Celestino Ruiz, stops the contest upon request of the corner. He is the winner by way of technical knockout. He is still the IBF Junior Welterweight Champion of the world, El Orgullo de Maternillo, Subriel Matías.
The 140-pound division, in my opinion, is the best in boxing, and the man you're looking at is certainly one of the best, if not the best.
Let's go to Brian Campbell.
Felix De Jesus will do the translating. Subriel Matías defending your title, the 5th straight opponent that refused to come out of the corner. What is it about your power that is so destructive?
Primero, creo que todo se debe a un equipo y está detrás de mí. Mi equipo es el que hace que eso pase.
It's my team that makes that happen.
You squared up early, took his best shots in the first round. Did his power bother you at all in this fight?
Pues mira, realmente cuando vi que, ¿verdad? No tenía como para lastimarme, o hermano, yo pensé eso, pues retomé el plan de ir para el frente y acabarlo.
Yeah, no, when I first started feeling his first punches in the first round, I knew he didn't have the power to knock me out, so then that's when I started attacking.
Almost half of your professional opponents have been southpaws. What makes you so effective against left-handed fighters?
La mitad de los boxeadores que te han enfrentado son zurdos. ¿Por qué te hace tan efectivo frente a los zurdos? ¿Por qué eres tan efectivo?
Pues mira, a un zurdo lo que necesito son 3, 4 asaltos para descifrarlo. Ya una vez pase eso, va a pasar lo que vieron hoy.
Yeah, for southpaw, I just need 3 or 4 rounds to decipher them, and then what happened, what you saw tonight is what usually happens.
In your opinion, is there anybody at 140 pounds that can stand in this ring and take your pressure?
¿Hay alguien que puede estar en las 140 libras contigo y aguantar esa presión?
Teofimo Lopez, tú eres un cobarde. Reyes Progray, Haney, Gervonta, I'm here. You wanted this? I'm here.
He mentioned Ford, Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis. If you want that, come over here and fight. That I'm there.
You dedicated this fight with your medallion, your waist, to your late brother.
All my career.
What does this mean to defend your title again in his honor?
Pues
Otra vez, en el honor de tu hermano, defender el título. ¿Qué esto significa para ti?
para mí es especial. Puerto Rico.
For me, it's special. Puerto Rico.
Vamos para el Coliseo de Puerto Rico.
We're going to go to the Coliseum in Puerto Rico and fight.